Christmas moss. This is the best choice for your fish tank. It's Tom Baxter here from Betta Fish News Club. If you want a full review article, PDF free guide of this, please go to our website, bettafishnews.club. You'll see a link below to download this very free guide from the Christmas moss. So there's lots of options when it comes for aquarium plants. Christmas moss is one option, but is it the right option for you? Well, let's go over it a bit. It has thick fronds, and it looks like a fir tree. It's found in Asia, India, and Japan. It grows on trees, rocks, but not always in the water. But it does love to be in your aquarium's water. It's pretty resilient and not too fussy, and quite adaptable. It's lush, fast growing. It can also grow horizontally in community or breeding tanks. Many baby fish and shrimp love to hide in it, and even lay eggs in it. It's a very nice plant. It's nice and bright green, and it's also a great filter for nitrogens and ammonias. Some people even tried to super glue or use fishing line to fasten the moss around the aquarium. Some just let it float around, but it does usually attach itself to things in a short time. It grows fast, which isn't a bad thing if you can trim it. It's pretty simple. It's good for algae eaters, pea puffers, and shrimp. They love to eat it and hang out in it. So if you have a pea puff breeder, it's a clear winner. It's very low maintenance, but one thing is algae can be a concern, and it can grow on top of the moss. So you want to have a very low or neutral pH level and water temperature between 70 and 82. If you move the moss, it could melt if you put it in a hot temperature, so you need to be wary of that. And the major maintenance item, you can see our picture there, is a trimming. So you want to get out the clippers if you see that there's some brown in it and give it a good haircut. Mini Christmas moss is another good option. It's basically the same, but it's a little bit greener and smaller. The leaves are more fragile and delicate, and it also grows in the bottom. It grows a bit slower. This is great for nano tanks because it is very small. It's very similar to Christmas moss, but like we mentioned, it's good for nano tanks. So if you take Christmas moss versus the other java+moss, both mosses are pretty to look at, and both have weaknesses for algae growth. The difference is that java+moss likes cooler water and it grows a lot faster. The Christmas moss needs more light to grow as well. Java+moss is more low maintenance than the Christmas moss. You do need to trim the moss and have higher temperatures with it. It's better for enveloping rocks and driftwood, and as more than java+moss is. Christmas moss is like a thick carpet, and java+moss is more like a zone plant. So java+moss wins because it's a little easier to take care of, but Christmas moss needs more light and temperature. There is no clear winner between java and Christmas moss. It's whether you like them, and for absolute beginners, if you want something that is easier, it is java+moss. It's more forgiving, but Christmas moss is better if you want to install it quickly. It also wins for tanks with a better theme or a more uniform theme. It has a little bit more pop because it's a bit more green. Some like to try to build a carpet with a little practice as possible with Christmas moss. You just need to trim it from time to time and maybe super glue or string it with fishing line. Just don't leave these lines up where fish can run into it because it could hurt them. So Christmas moss is a great moss. We went over the pros and cons. If you want to download this free PDF guide for how to care for it, please go to our website. And thanks very much for watching. See you next time.